Dawn glows on wet silt as the last ice loosens its grip. On a river plain, a small band of foragers tastes the sweet smoke of a new season. But this season will be different. As climates warmed, a quiet revolution began, an experiment with seeds and soil that would reshape humanity. From the Fertile Crescent to the highlands of the Americas, tended plots grew into villages. The age of the farmer had begun. This surplus of food gave rise to something new, the city. Under baked brick walls, a scribe scratches the first laws and ledgers onto wet clay. In Sumer, Egypt, and the Indus Valley, monuments reached for the sky. Bronze, then iron, reshaped both craft and conflict. For the first time, power and memory were made public on stone and tablet, as the first states tested a radical idea: how thousands of strangers could live together. In royal courts, the questions grew more complex. How do you rule an empire? Hammurabi's code carved justice into public view. Persia connected distant peoples with roads and a measured tolerance. The Han dynasty refined statecraft with granaries and civil service exams. Across seas and steppes, empires and assemblies wrestled with the same timeless questions of power and belonging. In quiet courtyards, another kind of power was taking shape: the power of ideas. Confucianism prized duty, while Buddhism mapped a path from suffering to release. Near Eastern traditions tied divine will to justice, while Greek thinkers asked simply, what is truth? These ethical frameworks traveled with merchants and missionaries, shaping everything from our courtrooms to our classrooms today. Caravans jingle across the desert, monsoon winds fill stitched sails. The Silk Roads and sea lanes were the world's first global arteries, pumping not just goods, but culture, religion, and technology across continents. But with connection came contagion. A 14th century pandemic swept through this network, a devastating reminder of our shared vulnerability, a lesson our own world is still learning. Then, the world's maps were redrawn in the wake of new sails. Oceans, once barriers, became highways. This new age unleashed the vast Columbian exchange, but also rival empires and the brutal efficiencies of the Atlantic slave trade. At the same time, a revolution of the mind was stirring. In lecture halls and workshops, the scientific revolution and the Enlightenment recast our understanding of nature and power. In 1517, a protest sharpened by the printing press challenged the highest authorities, and soon, ordinary people were reading pamphlets by candlelight, daring to name their own rights. The ideals of sovereignty met the relentless power of machines. The Industrial Revolution devoured coal and time, packing cities and forging new class conflicts that spilled from mills into parliaments. Steam pushed empires outward, and global tensions followed, sparking world wars, unspeakable genocides, and the dawn of a nuclear age. After 1945, colonial maps were unwritten, and a Cold War drew a rigid line across the globe. Today, that line has been replaced by a web of fiber and code. Human rights movements stream live alongside global markets. Our deepest beliefs are debated and shared across digital communities. But the old challenges remain, amplified by new technology. Inequality widens. A virus circles the planet. The climate shifts. This history matters now because it is not over. It lives in how we work, vote, and care for one another. To remember it is to turn hindsight into foresight for the choices we all must make together.